In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a vacation countdown calendar using a Cricut Maker. We'll be using some cardstock paper, vinyl, and the perforation blade, which is specific to the Maker only. So here's what the project looks like in Design Space. I actually found this project in Cricut Access as I was searching through the Projects tab and just made a few modifications. So I will include a link below to this exact project that I have kind of manipulated from the original and made it my own. So we have several different moving pieces to this project. As you can tell on the right hand side, there's tons going on in the layers panel. We'll be drawing, we have vinyl, we have paper, so lots going on. And we are also using the perforation blade with the Cricut Maker. So the biggest piece of advice I wanted to give you before we get started, we'll click on Make It here. As you can tell, there's lots of different mats over here on the left. And the biggest piece of advice is just to remember to change your materials as you're going from mat to mat. There were several times that I forgot to change my material and then I ended up ruining the material or cutting onto my mat. So just make sure that you change the materials as we go. But that's the basics of Design Space. I'll include the link below so you guys can make this project too. So to get started, I'm going to apply the craft board on a light grip cutting mat. I'm going to use an extra large scraper tool to also help apply it onto the mat. Then we'll get the mat loaded into the machine and we're going to insert the pen. I'm using the 0.4 tip in black. This is the pen that comes with your machine, so you might have it on hand. So we'll get this loaded in and you'll listen for a click. And then we'll get cutting. To remove the materials from the mat, I'm going to flip the mat over and bend the mat back while I hold the paper straight. That way none of this will bend, but the mat bends instead. Next, we're going to cut our vinyl. I'm using removable vinyl, and don't forget to change your cutting settings in Design Space to vinyl. So next, we are going to cut and perforate the base, which is this green. So I'm going to be using the perforation blade with the Cricut Maker. So I'm going to swap that out with a fine point blade. It's going to perforate first, and then it will cut with the fine point blade after that. And then the last material to cut is the craft board paper again. Alright, so while the Cricut is cutting the other paper, I'm going to start weeding. Just going to remove the excess vinyl from around the design and also inside of it. Alright, so now that everything is cut, we're going to assemble this whole entire thing. So the first thing I'm going to do is apply glue onto the back of the white cardstock. As you can see here, I'm just using a glue stick. You can use any kind of glue though, and then we'll apply that onto the buffalo check cardstock and get it all centered up. And I also like to use a scraper tool just to help push down and help that glue get in there. The next thing I'm going to do is apply the vinyl to some transfer tape. So I am just applying the vinyl onto the transfer tape, removing the paper backing, and then we'll apply it onto the cardstock. I like to use a scraper tool to help push down and make sure everything sticks. And then I always start in a top left-hand corner and work my way down at a 45-degree angle. Then once you're done with the black vinyl, we're going to move to the gray vinyl. I would recommend cutting your transfer tape and your vinyl combo down to size. As you can see here, I did not, and more of the transfer tape stuck on the paper and ended up ripping some of that white paper off, as you can see in the top right-hand corner. So just keep that in mind. As you can see here, I'm now cutting it down to size, and that will help with the pulling the paper up. So we'll just get everything lined up and then remove the transfer tape. The next thing I'm going to do is use the glue stick again to apply those brown corners and the brown paper airplane. So you can just line up the corners on top of the white paper and then stick on little airplane. The next thing I'm going to do is to apply all of the numbers. I am counting mine up 1 through 19, but you could also go 19 down to 1. Doesn't really matter how you line them up. But I'm just applying the glue stick onto the checkered paper and then centering each of the numbers. So I'm doing 3 or 4 at a time, just trying to keep them all lined up together. Here I'm using the scraper tool just to help make sure everything has stuck well, but by this time your glue should probably be dry, so you should be good. And then we'll take some string, loop it through the hoops, and that is the last thing that we're going to do for this project. We are all finished. That is all for today's project. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching!